Hello there guys, what is going on? Son of Chelsea back here again for another edition of my Team Selector ahead of tomorrow night's game against Lille in the Champions League. It's the big one. It's probably the biggest game of the season so far. Just thinking about it, because if Chelsea were to get a win, it'd be big getting through the group stage, a group that many people predicted would be so close and go down to the wire, which it has. And I think considering we lost the opening game, if Chelsea can win the final game and go through, I think it would really be just a good achievement and a good sign of progression for Frank, and especially considering bouncing back quite quickly after that defeat to Everton at the weekend. He was really tough on the players. He was really honest, probably the most critical he's been of his players so far this season, and I think rightly so. There's got to be that fine balance between being, having a good perspective on things and looking at the bigger picture, which Frank usually does, but also setting those standards very high for a team like Chelsea, which I think he's done. So the players need to respond pretty simply, and there needs to be better defending, which hopefully with some of the players that could come in here, that will happen. But it's a big game for a chance to bounce back. Pre-match press conference, really frustrating news once again on the injury front. Tomori is out of a slight strain. I don't know if that was maybe contributing to the fact he didn't play in the previous two games, and Olivier Giroud as well is out of injury. But the big news for me is that Antonio Rudiger is going to be in the squad for the first time since September. He will be back for Chelsea. A big player at a big moment for Frank. I'm sure he's so happy to have Rudiger back. We've missed him. The fact he's only played 45 minutes of football this season is ridiculous and shows what Frank has been up against with some of his biggest players being out this season. Only a couple of weeks ago, N'Golo Kante came back into fitness, and Ruben Loftus-CHEEK is still on the sidelines. You see Tomori as well. Chelsea have not had the best of luck this year with injuries. So Rudiger, I think, is going to be a key player for the rest of the season. Let's hope he stays fit and performs really well. Going into my team, 4-3-3, Kepa in goal. Yes, he's received so much criticism, hasn't he? But for me, you can't drop Kepa. He is our number one, and it's about staying behind Kepa. And I think, as we've seen already this season, he makes big saves, and it's also the responsibility of the defenders in front of him to not allow free shots on goal where no keeper's going to be able to save them. Of course, he has personal responsibility, but we've seen him make big saves for Chelsea in big games. Think about the penalty save against Valencia. How crucial could that penalty save turn out to be? Let's hope it is big for Chelsea come the end of tomorrow night. Back four, I want to say Reece James on form, and I want to see Reece James continue to get game time. But considering who I think will start at left back, I think Dave may start here, because just his experiences now in big games it's so essential. We've seen it so far this season. I think of the Ajax game. I think of other games. I think of Ajax home and away. I think he was, big in both of those games for his influence. He was shifted out to left, which is, I think, what a lot of us predicted and wanted to see. But I think Chelsea do need to have attacking intent in this game pretty much. They're going to be on the front foot. I think Lille are going to come and defend. But at the same time, I think good defending, experienced defending, I don't think you can get past playing Dave in this game. So that's going to be my right back. Kurt Zuma, I think, will be in the back two. Whether he's on the left or the right, I prefer him to be on the right, because I think we see that with Christensen. When he's been forced out to the left, it doesn't look as good. He doesn't look as comfortable. And we saw that on Saturday. Yes, he's responsible as Christensen, as the whole team is, for the defending on Saturday. But I hope he can bounce back, because I think he has had a good season this year at times. And I think the frustration is Zuma and Christensen, I just don't think is a good enough partnership. But hopefully with his defensive partner tomorrow night, I'm predicting he can get back to his best ways. And that is going to be Antonio Rudiger finally back in the starting 11 for Chelsea. It's great to see him back, and let's hope he can get back into full fitness, get back into the flow of things, because for me, he is Chelsea's best defender, pretty simply for me. And then left back, I think Emerson will come back into the side. He's not been in the best of form since he's got back from his injury. But as I say, Chelsea need attacking intent in this game. And I think having a natural left-sided player on that wing, I think, will help just create that overlap and create that natural. So when Dave goes in there at left back, you see him, he has to cut back. So I'd like to see Emerson come back into the team. Midfield three, I think Jorginho has to come back into the team, not only for his leadership skills, his being the metronome, being the dictator in the centre of the park. We missed him. People took screenshots in the second half of sort of an area, a gap in the pitch that Jorginho would have filled, and just allowing that passing option. I think as I expressed in my rational perspective, we missed Jorginho big time. And all the people may be saying we do better without him. I completely disagree. And I think this is a big game for Jorginho. So I think he comes back into the midfield alongside him, Kovacic and Kante. Kovacic outstanding on Saturday. And N'Golo Kante is majorly important. So I think I've said it so many times. I think that's our strongest midfield three. And once again, I think that is a midfield three that balances itself out well and can keep the ball and move it smartly, which is what Chelsea are going to have to do tomorrow night. And the front three, I think Christian Pulisic, yes, gave the possession away a lot, but on Saturday at Goodison Park, but for me, is one of those players always trying to make something happen, always looking to get in behind the defence. I think it was frustrating for Pulisic, as it was for a lot of the attackers, but you still got to have him in the team for me. I think he's such a big influence and scored in the last Champions League game at Valencia. And I'm going to put Mason Mount on the left wing. I don't think Willian had the best game. I thought Mount was always trying, even though he wasn't at his best. And I just would like to see Mount kept in this side, but I don't want to sacrifice Jorginho again. So I'm going to put Mount on the left wing. Maybe that's what Frank has done. He hasn't done it a lot this season, but I'm just thinking that may be something he does to try and keep Mount in the team, but bring Jorginho back. And of course, up front, Tammy Abraham, another frustrating day. He was really angry at the end of Saturday, which I'm sure he would have been. Didn't have a lot to feed off on Saturday, to be honest, and was unlucky. But as we've seen already this season, Tammy's great at bouncing back, and if you give him a chance, if you give him a good chance, he's usually going to take it. And I think the good thing for him was he got injured against Valencia, didn't he? And he was so upset by that. But he's going to be fit for this game, and let's hope he can score a big goal for him and for Chelsea in this game as well. So that is it, my team selector ahead of the game against Lille tomorrow night. It's big, the nerves are going to be there. But let's hope Chelsea can end this group on a high, win the game, go through to knockout stage and get back on track in this season. So those are my thoughts. That is my team. Let me know your lineups in the comments below. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. If you did enjoy it, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to never miss an upload. Follow me on Twitter @SonOfChelsea, and I'll see you again.